know the girl that can't detach.
You know the girl that can't detach. You don't want to be a
I know
cliche.
you don't want to be her because you clicked on this video.
Oh, this
song
little thing?
came on the radio. And I miss when we danced together to this song. Just this one little thing. Your brain is so messed up. It is going to do anything. Let me tell you how to detach from literally anyone. I don't care if it's the love of your life. I am the master detacher.
You can't detach from me.
I will cut him off in a second.
All right.
First of all, what you need to understand is that your attachment to anyone is purely biological. All of it is just based on the hormones that you're getting because of the fact that, for one, you're near them, you've been intimate with them, you're getting oxytocin, dopamine. You grow an addiction to those hormones. It has nothing to do with the actual person themselves. It has to do with your addiction to the hormones that you have related to them.
Yeah. Not to say that you have to go about life thinking this way, but it's good to understand.
It's something that you need to understand about every relationship that you have. This is about detachment from situations. This could be a job. This could be a family member. This could be a relationship. This could be a friendship. This could be a pattern of behavior. You have to understand that every single attachment that you have is purely based on your emotions. It is your addiction to the hormones that you're experiencing. Let's use the example of if it's with an ex. You have to understand how many people there are in the world, how many opportunities that there are in the world, and you also have to understand that it's not that serious. This is your life.
It's hard to think about it in the moment, but just think about things that you detached from in the past and how little you care about it now.
You need to look at it from like you being 90 years old and looking back on it now and being like, okay, this life went by so fast. I only had this one life and I spent all this time doing this thing with this person or in this situation that I didn't want to. You have to look at it like that because that is what is going to happen.
Yep.
That is the reality of the situation. You can't just spend your life doing things or spending time with people that you don't want to just because you're addicted to the hormones that you're getting from them because of what you have told yourself about them.
Yeah, and if it wasn't you, if you were looking outside the box or you were looking at it with a friend going through what you're going through, then you know what the answer is.
Yeah.
And you know what you would tell them, but you just can't handle it yourself.
Because you're addicted to the emotions.
Exactly.
Something I have been doing since I was like 5 years old. I remember like if I would get embarrassed about something, I would literally pretend that I was going all the way up to the moon, and then I would sit on the moon and I would look down on myself, and it just gave me such a real like a visual of how little it matters. It doesn't matter.
You mean just like zooming out
like
from
how
Earth?
Zoom out from your situation and look down at your situation from that far away to just really get a perspective, because like when you're in it, you're in your life, it just all seems so real, it seems so important, it seems so impossible to detach. If you just put yourself outside of yourself, or you put yourself outside of your situation in a timeline, it's going to become so much more real how little it matters. Because in reality, like when you are physically very far away from something, it matters less. When you are, chronologically further away from something, it matters less. So you just have to give yourself that perspective. You can't give yourself the perspective of right now.
Yeah, time is a big thing. Even with an ex, it's like the newness of it is the problem. You're having a new emotion to the breakup or whatever you're going through. It's giving you something. It might not be a good feeling, but it's giving you something. And that's another thing. You can get addicted to feeling bad too, instead of just feeling happy. When you don't have that, then it feels like you're in this void, right? So it's like you can get addicted to like feeling sad about the situation or getting pity from your friends from the situation. It makes you think way more of what you lost, the good things that you lost versus the reason that you're even choosing to detach.
And you get addicted to that sorrow sometimes because it keeps you close to what you lost. Sometimes it can be really hard. And if you're actually trying to detach from something that's like a real loss, like most likely if you click this video with something that like you find yourself needing to detach from. I can talk about loss in another video if you like really want to go into that. You can't just decide that you're going to stay close to this person or this situation by feeling the sorrow that you have about losing it. The other thing is you don't want to be that girl. I know you don't want to be that girl that's so hung up about this thing that they lost or this thing that they have to detach themselves from. You don't want to throw yourself a pity party, and you don't want to make everyone around you throw you a pity party. Like, you have to go out there and you have to attach to something else.
Yeah.
Attached to yourself. Your happiness has to be such a priority that nothing else matters. And you also have to realize is that your happiness cannot be reliant on the hormones that other people are giving to you.
Yeah.
So you're getting dopamine because you're excited to see this person, or you have oxytocin because this person makes you feel good because you're near them. You can give yourself all of those emotions.
Yeah.
Those are coming from yourself.
Exactly.
It's coming from the thoughts that you have, and it's coming from, I can go into meditation. Like, I can teach you how to be the happiest person in the world if that's the type of content that you would like to hear.
Yeah.
I'm starting this new channel. I don't know if you came from the last one or if this is the first one that you're seeing. I can talk to you about relationships. I don't know if you saw my social media stuff. It's mostly relationship stuff, but really the issue is like your relationship with yourself.
Yeah. And also, it might sound a little harsh, but you also don't want to be a cliche. Every situation at this point in humanity has already kind of happened. Mm-hmm. So what you're going through, I don't know, it sounds crazy, but this is unhinged advice. Mm-hmm. So it's so cliche what you're going through. You've seen it before. You've seen it in TV shows. Mm-hmm. You've seen it happen with your friends. You've seen it on social media.
You know the girl that can't detach.
You know the girl that can't detach. You don't want to be a cliche.
I know you don't want to be her because you clicked on this video.
You know how it ends. Right? You know how that situation ends. Like, if you are trying to detach from someone and you end up going back, you know how that ends. Mm-hmm. It never ends up good.
You can't use this emotion of the difficulty of detachment. Like, I think one of the reasons that people stick in the detachment is because part of you feels like it wasn't the right decision, or they should have been with that person, or they should have been in that situation. You have to be so strict with yourself to see the reality of why you need to detach in the first place. You need to drill it into your head. If this ex mistreated you, it's not, oh, well, we built this future together. You cannot be attaching to the future that you made up in your mind, or that you guys made up together. It doesn't exist. It doesn't matter.
Especially in a situation like that, your mind overblows, like just overhypes the good things so much, because you're dealing with loss. And it's like that's such a crushing feeling
to not experience the loss. So part of your mind is going to be pulling you back to it because it knows that, oh, well, if I just don't detach, you're at a crossroads right now. Mm-hmm. Either way, you're going to feel somewhat better. You're going to get some relief. Yes. So you're going to get a little bit of relief from going back, and then you're going to just delay this detachment even more. Or you can go this way, where it's just going to take a little bit of time to make it so that your body is no longer addicted to the feelings that you were having about this person or this situation.
Yep.
You're gonna feel better,
and it's gonna be less pain.
Keep going on that path.
It's gonna be less pain overall, because every time you go back, it's just the resentment and all of that stuff is gonna stack up, and you're gonna think of the craziest things. You're gonna start thinking like, oh, well, I miss when we got coffee together. Even though they're doing like the worst things to you. Yeah. It's just like, oh, this
song
thing
came on the radio, and I miss when we danced together to this song. Just this one little thing. Your brain is so messed up. It is going to do anything. You are a drug addict. You're a drug addict in this situation. Think of yourself as a drug addict. If you are trying to detach from something that you know is not good for you, you have to see it as bad as being a drug addict. You have to see it like because you know that someone who's addicted to something bad, like, cigarettes, Xanax, something like that, alcohol, you know that person is going to make excuses for themselves and glorify that bad thing in order to have it. It is just a trick that your brain plays on you in order to get you to the reward. And the reward is just the hormone. The reward, this is something you need to understand. The reward is not the person. The reward is not the situation. The reward is the hormones that you feel that are making you feel better, that you can create for yourself without any situation.
Absolutely.
Or worst case scenario, with a different situation or with a different person.
Absolutely. And you also have to realize that you right now, like when you're detaching from someone, you're below your baseline level of happiness. You're like really, really low because like the dopamine has been so depleted. Just like someone taking, someone drinking or having an alcohol addiction. It's like if they have an addiction to it, then when they're not doing it, they're just so low. It's not like they're taking it to come back up to like a crazy high level anymore. They're actually just so low that they're coming back to baseline. Right, so you're at this like really, really, really low
You're
point.
desperate. You feel terrible right now, and it's just something that you have to. You can't spin out about how terrible you feel. Just understand that this is normal, and it's just like with time it will go away.
And you have to keep impressing on yourself that like you left or you're detaching for some reason. Like there is a reason for it. You didn't make the wrong decision. It's very rare that when you do something with your gut feeling and when your instinct that it's wrong. It's almost never.
Yeah, like you were feeling
especially
bad.
As a woman.
You realized that you needed to detach. Once you did detach, now you're feeling bad. So your brain is going to convince you that you made the wrong decision. That is not true. You're in withdrawal right now. You need to understand that you just need to get through this time of withdrawal. It's normal. You're going to feel better. The people that are able to detach, the people that are able to not be addicted to things are people that are capable. They're able to tolerate discomfort. It's the people that are so incapable of tolerating discomfort that get themselves into trouble.
Yeah, and you said something very, like in one of our older videos, you said that, one of the best things you could do is have a calendar and just like mark all the days that you were unhappy.
Because of that situation.
Because of that situation. And mark all the days that you were like ultimately happy, and you'll realize like it just doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't
because
add
that's
up.
about to be the calendar of your entire life. So you might have 2 months now of unhappy days, but you'll actually start to notice that it will get less and less and less, and you're starting to get happier. But it's if you continue with that thing that you need to detach from and you didn't, that calendar is just going to be filled with bad days.
Absolutely.
And I know I'm being harsh because, I give harsh advice sometimes.
This is unhinged advice.
It's unhinged advice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you therapist advice. I give you the advice that you actually need to hear from experiencing from a woman who's been through, being broke, being anxious, being depressed, not being able to leave the house to, I'm happy whenever I want to be now. I've detached from many a man whenever I need to, not that this is relevant in this situation, but like, things are in order.
Yeah. You're not going to get Shay Shetty sound bites here. You're going to get like harsh truths.
You're going to get the harsh truth.
You're going to get the advice that we give to our friends.
Or that I would give to myself. It's a new channel because we kind of messed up the algorithm of our old channel by talking to men and women and blogs and this and that.
Yeah.
So this channel is specifically for women. If you saw this for some reason and you're a man and you want like advice specific to men, we have unhinged advice for men. It's a different channel.
Unhinged for men.
If you actually like this, if this is content that you actually really want to hear about, comment, talk to me about it. I love talking to girls about their problems, helping them out. If you're just a fan of mine from social media, like don't give me like a pity subscribe.
Please
because
don't subscribe.
I need YouTube to understand my algorithm and the avatar of person that I'm looking to talk to here. So if it is information that you want, watch the next video. I'll be in the comments talking to you guys. But thank you guys for listening. If you're still here. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you.